Hello, Cancer, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We're looking at all three sides of it. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. The purpose of this middle section to be, what is the purpose of this connection and what is the best thing to do in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. These energies can absolutely be swapped. So if you resonate more with the energy to my right than to my left, that is totally fine and totally normal. Please remember these are general readings. They will not resonate fully for everyone. So do take what resonates and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. We'll be using a different tarot deck for each side of the connection, but as always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy and clarified those. So we will jump into that in just a second. Any information on the extended reading for this reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. All right, Cancer. On your side of this connection, you have past life with the Hangman in reverse. Now, I feel like this connection is one that you've been having a really hard time like letting go of the reins of and kind of letting it flow. If it is a connection that has ended, like letting it go. I feel like the reason for that is because this is a past life connection, at least it certainly feels like it, which probably means that when you first met this person, you felt like you had known them forever, like you got really comfortable with them. Things probably moved pretty quickly. It doesn't necessarily need to be the case, like with the things moving quickly thing, but just in general, it just kind of feels like they've been a part of you. Like it's hard to remember a time in your life before you knew this person. But I also feel like this person is actually helping you close out a past life cycle too, because on this person's energy, they have veiled with death. So I'm saying this death card is a couple of things. I really feel like it's them, like a cycle that's closing out. I also feel like if this person did end this connection, they're not being totally upfront about the reasons as to why. I don't know what those are yet or what that means. Overall, I feel this person holding back. I mean, I feel like they've shown up in this connection as maybe the person they wanted you to see as opposed to who they really are. Maybe they have a bit of an issue with honesty and authenticity and things of that nature, which has made it even more difficult for you to really trust or let go or allow things to kind of flow. Now, in between this connection, and remember, this is just overall energy. So we will jump into what's really kind of going on here. But in between this connection, you guys have magic with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So what I'm seeing here is that this connection, it felt magical. There's probably some really intense pull between these two people. But the Queen of Pentacles in reverse is an energy of like lack of stability. So like it felt very good, very intense probably, but the actual energy, it was so intense that it was unstable. It was like not very good, not much of a grounded connection. I feel like it has a tendency to unground both of you, to get you guys both very triggered, very kind of in the shadow aspects that you're still needing to heal, things like that. So let's start by looking at Cancer's side of this connection. This is Cancer's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. One more. Cancer's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Cancer side of this connection. Cancer's energy toward this connection. Okay. See, this feels like a connection that has already actually ended. Doesn't have to be. Either way, you have this Four of Swords in reverse. Your soul is very burnt out, feeling the way that it does in this connection. I feel like you've slowly but surely been trying to regain some stability with the Four of Pentacles. I feel like stability is a really big theme in this. It could be material stability, but also just like emotional stability, just feeling like you're getting yourself back or getting back on your feet or something. And I feel like it feels very much like a 1 step forward, 3 steps back kind of energy. Like for some reason you've just, I don't know, like this connection has just had such a hold on you. And it's been very difficult for you to break free of it. Even if, I mean, whether you want to or don't. Cancer side of this connection, please. This is Cancer side of this connection. See, someone walked away in this. And whether it was you or them, you were left with a lot of disappointment here. A lot of 5 of Cups, a lot of sadness here. But I also feel like this happened for the best. Because it does feel like it was a very unstable connection. Could have been like really high highs, but also like really low lows. And I feel like it's been hard to, just like let go of it in some way. I want this one actually. Because that 8 of Cups might come out again. All right, Cancer side of the connection. I feel like you're tired of being disappointed with this connection too. Like if this has brought you a lot of disappointment, you're like over it. Cancer side of this connection. Okay. See, there's that Queen of Pentacles in reverse again right there. And the 8 of Wands. Could be dealing with an earth sign. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. You do not have to be. I feel like you had a lot of hope for this connection in the beginning. That's where this like magic is coming from. Like I feel like you had a lot of hope. This showed a lot of potential. But then I feel like over time things kind of went from bad to worse. And I feel like in a way it kind of blindsided you. And now I feel like you feel very alone. Not like you're lonely or like you are alone. Like I just feel like this connection left you very alone. Like maybe they were kind of the source of who you spent most of your time with or something like that. Or like they were your confidant. It just feels like you're feeling very alone now. Trying not to. I feel like this connection just pushed you super out of your comfort zone in so many different ways. And now you're kind of just in a recovery period. Like that's what it feels like. Like you're recovering from this. Because again, you had a lot of hope, but then that hope just turned into like this major disappointment. And if you tried to hold on or are trying to hold on, it just feels like it continues to lead you back to that disappointment. And that's been the hardest thing for you too, because I feel like you see this potential or saw this potential. Whether this is happening for you currently or has already happened is beside the point. So do take it as it resonates. But it's like you saw this potential and you were willing to do what you needed to do to attain that potential, but then it just never happened. Cancer side of this connection. See, this connection took a lot from you. You might even still feel like it is. Because the Strength in reverse is like feeling this loss of power, loss of confidence, making you feel smaller than usual. Like just a lot of all of the frustration and disappointment that took place, it just feels like it chipped away at you. It kept chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping until you were like, you felt like you had nothing left to give. But again, it just keeps coming back to that potential, like this potential that you saw from the beginning because of this magic energy, this past life energy. It just felt so good and so right in the beginning. And then I feel like it just turned so not good. And you didn't expect that. Cancer side of this connection. Cancer side of this connection, please. Yeah, see this. Okay, so there's that death. Ooh, okay, now we're getting into some of the deep stuff. See, this connection did end. This feels like a connection. It could have been like a past life connection. Not like in an actual past life, but like it feels like it was a lifetime ago. Or it just ended. It doesn't, that's beside the point. But the ending and the way that things ended was very heavily triggering. And it triggered your limiting beliefs here because you have this Eight of Swords. So I want more on this message because what this triggered was trying to bring insight for you into this Eight of Swords energy. Can I get more for this? So that's why you're so stuck on this, is because these limiting beliefs are being heavily triggered. I don't think they're going to tell me yet what those are. But this ending and the way that it triggered you in a way was like intentional of the universe. It sounds cruel, but bear with me. This is Cancer side of this connection. Hang on, I don't like the way this came out. This is Cancer side of this connection. It's upside down. It's interesting because the one I said that I didn't like that came out was the King of Cups in reverse, and you have the King of Swords in reverse. So there was some mind games here. Some mind games and possibly even some emotional manipulation. Can I get more on this? And that's what made it so hard to see clearly. Is because I feel like you were listening to like what this person like told you, or like what they said, or had like kind of messed with your head a little bit, which made it hard for you to see what was like really going on. That's where this veiled card is coming from. It feels like they weren't totally upfront, or they were a little deceitful or something. But it's like there was something on your side that was trying to be brought to the surface in a way. Let me get more, or let's jump into this person's energy. This person's energy toward Cancer, because you have this veiled with the Death card. This person's energy toward Cancer, please. See, this person doesn't feel deserving of you on a subconscious level. Now, that doesn't mean that that's actually what they think, because remember, 95% of us, of our movements, choices, and decisions are subconscious. So if they feel undeserving, then that's probably why they felt the need to control or to manipulate or to run from this, or whatever the case was. It's like, yeah, they don't feel deserving of this. This is the King of Swords again. Could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. this person's energy toward Cancer, please. So it has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with their worth. Whatever went down here, with not what they're actually worthy of, but with what they feel they are. Why are these coming out upside down? Okay. It's like they chose to either not or stop investing in this. I want more on the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. But like, I don't know if they were fully upfront about why. Yeah, see, they weren't upfront about why, because there's the Seven of Swords, right? Like deception or holding back or secrecy. Or it could have been a third party. If there was or is, you already know about it. With the Six of Wands in reverse energy, it feels like it's like they lost hope in this. It's like you had all of the hope for this. You were carrying all of the hope for this. They kind of like, it feels honestly like they gave up on this. But not be, again, has nothing to do with your worth. It's everything to do with their inability to see their own worth, right? It's the only reason people ever throw away a good thing. This person's energy toward Cancer. Not that I necessarily feel like this was a good thing, because it does feel like it's leaning a little bit towards the side of being a little toxic. This person's energy toward Cancer. Just these two energies, like, and the way it just feels like it's very like, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, this person's energy toward Cancer is the Queen of Wands, Judgment in reverse, but this person's energy toward Cancer, it just feels like there's a lot of people involved. We've seen a lot of, like, we've seen the King of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, saw the Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles around the deck. This person's energy toward Cancer, just saw the Queen of Wands. Okay. This person's very defensive toward you, not just, I feel like not even just toward you, but like in general. And usually that defensiveness kind of comes with a victim mentality, not really able to fully take accountability. And so if they ever get called out, or if you try to, approach them with boundaries or something, they probably have a tendency to be very reactive. Like that's what this person feels like. They feel very reactive. And I just feel like that has made it very difficult for you to navigate having a healthy connection, because it feels like this person, to be quite honest, isn't really capable of that. Because I feel like they're kind of just like reacting, like exploding. Like that's what it feels like. Like this person's kind of like a ticking time bomb in a way. It's not that they're a bad person. I just feel like they're kind of living in that, buried in their own emotions, buried in the things that their own hurt, and kind of projecting that onto others. Classic story, right? This person's energy toward Cancer. This person's energy toward Cancer, please. And I feel like you tried to be very patient with this person, but like, yeah, see, they withdrew from this. They like made the decision to withdraw, to pull back. But at the same time, it feels like it's because they were faced with these like uncomfortable emotions, and they didn't know how to handle it, so all they knew how to do was withdraw. I feel like that just left you like, what the hell? Because I feel like, yeah, I don't know. It just feels like you were trying, like you had patience, you had hope for this, you saw the potential of you in this person, and they just feel like they were kind of over here just like, ah. That's the best way I can describe their energy. Just all over the place. Very just like, not that this person's crazy or anything. That's not what I'm saying. It just feels like, and you try to be like, calm down. I just think of like a dog that's like going absolutely insane. Oh, this person's a dog. I just like, and you don't really understand what's going on. They're whining, they're crying, they're freaking out. You're like, what the hell? Um, that's kind of what this feels like. Oh, okay. And I feel like that's why maybe even in this connection you felt very alone. Like that's where I'm getting that alone kind of feeling. Like even when you were with this person, you felt very alone because they were just, it's like they were dealing with so much of their own stuff that they didn't have the emotional capacity to meet you halfway in the connection. This person's energy toward Cancer. This person's energy toward Cancer. Like you have this veiled, right? Like they're holding back, not being honest. But like I feel like they're holding back and not being honest with themselves either. Like it has nothing to do with you and your worth and what they think of you or feel about you. It has everything to do with their ability to handle themselves, to handle their emotions, to work through, um, challenging feelings and experiences in a healthy manner. Like I just feel like they don't have those tools, and I feel like maybe you might still, obviously you're still on a healing journey, right? Healing's a lifelong process, but you might be further along in that, and you do have these tools, and you were like, hey, here are some tools that I've learned, and this person's like, no, get away from me. I don't know. It feels like they're like, I have a lot of empathy for this person because I feel like they're like just freaking out. I don't know. I don't know why they're freaking out, but they're freaking out. That's what it feels like. Okay. This person's energy toward Cancer. Oof, 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 oof. This person's energy toward Cancer, please. The Ten of Swords, the Empress in reverse, Eight of Cups, and the Devil in reverse. See, that's what this is like. You staying in this and investing in this as much as you did was you kind of betraying yourself here. I feel like a lot of this connection became about this person, and you were trying your hardest to help them. And first and foremost, I don't even necessarily know if they wanted to be helped. But even if they did, like it's kind of like they were looking for you to like save them or rescue them or something. Um, and the more that you invested, the less they gave. And so them walking away, or whoever walked away here, it was actually kind of really, really good because you have this Devil in reverse. It was almost like it kind of took that attachment and like tried to like sever it. Now, obviously, it takes a little bit longer to release yourself from an attachment, and I feel like that's why you're having a hard time holding on. But the more that you invested in this, and the more that you chose this person over yourself, that you put this person's um, needs, emotions over your own, um, the more you hurt yourself with the ten of swords here. And it's not saying that they didn't do anything wrong. That's not what I'm saying. It's just looking at it from that higher level perspective. That's why things kind of had to come to a halt here. Is because you were worse off in this connection. I had someone comment on a video once, and it was like, kind of a similar story, but basically it was like walking away and choosing yourself, was the best case scenario. And she was, I think it was a female name, doesn't matter, but they said, either one hurts so bad, staying or leaving, so I'd rather just stay. And sure, you can look at it that way, like both are very painful, but one is a sure pain, like one is like it's gonna hurt, the staying, and it is everlasting. And walking away, even when it's hard, it sure it's gonna hurt too, but you also know that eventually that pain's gonna go away. Maybe you don't know that for sure, but it will. Time really does heal. And this is not necessarily that time heals all wounds, but the healing and the time that you put into your healing will heal yourself. But also, like, what I'm getting at is, if you stay, things are probably never going to change. If you leave, at least you know that things will change and you will be able to find what is better for you. I mean, that is just kind of the way that things work. Like, choosing yourself pays off every single time. But I know it's hard to feel that way when you're in it. Sorry if I'm low energy today, guys. I don't feel very good. All right, this person's energy toward Cancer. I feel very clear, like, mentally, but I also just feel like very, like, I'm talking slower or something. All right, this person's energy toward Cancer. This person's energy toward Cancer, please. Here's that 8 of Swords. See, you saw this Knight of Cups in reverse with the 8 of Swords on your side, too. It feels like it's tying it together, and it's saying that things played out the way they did to trigger these limiting beliefs. But I want to know what these limiting beliefs are. What are these limiting beliefs? That you have to put up with this? Yeah, it's not telling me. I feel like the ultimate limiting belief that's kind of coming through, that I can tell without using the cards, is the belief that you have to sacrifice your own needs and feelings for someone else in order to be loved. It's not true. You don't have to do that. But I also know that it's hard to, what we believe about love and how we, what we believe about love and how we do give and receive love is a product of how we've experienced it throughout our life. So if you had, parents or caretakers or just childhood experiences with love that weren't always the most healthy, where you felt like you were always sacrificing in order to receive bare minimum love, then of course that's what you believe about it, right? So this goes a little bit deeper than just, oh, this person, took so much from me. It's okay, but what part of your belief system attracted that into your life? Not saying it's your fault. Your trauma is not your fault. But it is a part of that subconscious belief system that you can only control if you're aware of it, right? If you're not aware of your limiting beliefs, they will control you. But if you bring those limiting beliefs to surface, they won't, dictate your movements, choices, and decisions as much. All right, Cancer, we're going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to clarify, we'll look at the truth of the connection. You have Magic with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So I'm going to pull 9 different messages, and then I have an advice card to pull at the end. Thank you so much, Cancer, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. Bye, Cancer.